False start a minute ago, and I'm sorry about that if anybody saw it, but I did a pocket live. Never done one of those before. You could seriously get yourself into trouble doing that kind of thing. And with that false start, I think maybe some of you are assuming that this live isn't even going to go ahead. But it is. I'm here, and I'm doing it right now. And I'm doing it right now for a very, very good reason. Excuse me whilst I cough up my guts. Oh gosh, that's not good. Well, how disappointing. There are 3 people watching then, and now it's gone down to 1, now it's back to 4. Oh, hello. Who is here? Please let yourself know. Cars with JC is here. That's Cars with a Z. A Z Cars. Yeah? Oh, yeah. Hello, Joe. The reason I'm going to just... hang on. Just me, Mustard. Oh, no, it's not just you now, though, is it, Skick? No. Imagine that, though. Imagine if we had a 1-to-1 live stream where anybody could join in, but nobody bothers. That would be just the kind of thing that would happen. Oh, 13 people out. Thank you. Neil Gibbons, also known as the Gibbonator, is here. How are you? I'm okay. Paul Warren. Hello, Mustard. Long-time viewer. Fairly long-term subscriber. First live. Well, you're in for either a treat or a massive disappointment, and I can't really tell you which one it's going to be. What have you been up to? Well, good question. I will get on to that. I've been up to something rather exciting indeed. Who's that now? Imp5011 fella. Dan Peters is also here. Hey, hello, Captain Mustard. I will join you for a rather cold and miserable Bedfordshire. Well, where is the coldest and most miserable place in the UK right now? Who reckons they know that? You'd lot talk to yourselves whilst I think about what I'm actually doing here. The motivation behind and kind of pretty much impromptu live stream is traffic. It's gone dark, and I know due to temporary roadworks near where I live, it's going to take me almost as long to drive home as what it would do to walk home. And that's really disappointing. But I don't really want to leave a car here because I'm trying to not have the yard full of cars any more than necessary. But that's where we're going to get into this conversation. Now, presuming that there are not that many people actually watching this live stream, I might just give the game away and tell you what's been going on, because there's been an awful lot going on today, and maybe yesterday, you could say. Practice Silent Night with me. Hello, Joe. Have you been practicing Silent Night for me? What the bloody hell are you talking about, Skick? What's that mean? What have you had for lunch? Good question. I'll answer that now. I've only just had it. I've only just had a chippy dinner. And I wasn't going to have that. But yesterday I didn't get a chance to go off to the shop to buy anything probably more suitable. I think I'm just buying some chicken drumsticks or something like that, and just cooking them, just putting them in a pot and just eating them. Had I have done that, I'd have scoffed all my food long ago, but I didn't. I've been so busy with stuff that I just haven't had the opportunity. Yes, Skick. David's chippy was really nice, thanks to Jason. It is nice. It is. Oh, that's there. It is nice. But, of course, I don't know about you, but I always find when I have a chippy dinner, it makes me feel quite rough afterwards. Whether it's the amount of carbs or the kind of oil that they use or whatever it is, I don't know. So I'm expecting very, very soon from now this great slumping energy where I just feel regretful. You don't get that when you don't eat, do you? At least not for a few days. Now Tony's here. Good evening, Mustard. Hope you're well. Now Tony, you've asked me a few times if I want if you if your help is needed in the yard to do a couple of tip runs, well, I can tell you now it is. And if you're up for it, then next week at some point, yeah, come along and help, because it would be great. I've got some good stuff going on right now. Oil they use. All right. Skick asks Joe. All right, I see. I didn't see that bit. How did I miss that bit? Unless it was from a couple of days ago when I didn't see one. Oil they use. Yep. Dan Peters. How much is sausage chips in your local chip shop? Mine is expensive for around £5 or so. It's quite expensive. I don't know. I don't really eat the sausages. I don't like those kind of sausages. I like nice sausages. The kind of sausages that you get in any chippy are not really very nice, are they? Let's be honest. Come on, admit it. You eat it because you're hungry, not because you fancy one of those sausages. If anybody fancies one of those sausages, you know, there's something a bit strange there, I reckon. Driving back home from Wales now, so we'll be listening in. Oh, very good. Thank you very much, Dan. Neil. Neil, also massive thank yous to Neil, and of course Joe and Sophie as well. And incidentally, a question I meant to answer from both of you, actually, those little things that you made, that your niece, your sister made, Joe, for my girls. They really liked them. I just forgot to tell you. I'm always forgetting things. Drive safely, Neil. Good. Just let me know what day you want me to come over and I'll help you out. Well, thank you very much, Tony. I've forgotten whether we're in contact on Facebook. I think we are, aren't we? So we are a messenger. And you know, I feel awfully embarrassed saying this, but I just can't remember exactly who's who a lot of the time. You know, I know you're called Tony. For one thing, it says Tony on there. But yeah, we are. I remember what you look like. But when you came down to the meetup, I couldn't remember your name, and I could have just done that thing where you pretend that you know what people are called until somebody says something. But I thought, nah, I'll just admit it. I can't remember your name. Sorry, mate. But I will remember from now on. And yeah, we are in contact on Facebook as well. I remember that. I'm quite partial to battered beef burger at the chippy. Oh, do you know what? I've had a chippy dinner because I was hungry, but you know, thinking about what it actually is doesn't really fill me full of enthusiasm or joy or anything other than maybe I'm going to feel ill. Okay, some beeping going on. Two things are for certain whilst this live stream is going on. One is that I'm going to have to be blowing my conch a bit because I'm still a bit coldy, and the other is I will get locked in the yard because the chap next door to me is in his lockup at the moment with his radio on full blast. Oh, that's somebody in the yard. There's somebody in the yard. So just go and check. Perhaps I should. Somebody's messaging me as well, and I meant to turn that down. No, I'll check. It's not really anything to worry about. Right, yeah, I will get locked in because the chap next door is listening to his radio on full volume, and when he comes out, you'll see that my lockup is closed. Obviously, it's got to be, hasn't it? I can't come down here and leave it unlocked, and I can't do my live stream up there because he's got his radio on full blast, and I'll get not only demonetized but probably devideized. Devideized. That's a new one, isn't it? So he will come out, not realize I'm still in the yard, and lock me in, and then I'll struggle to actually get out again because the lock is on the other side as you do it. So you got to use this kind of like thing like that. Once it happened, and I really struggled with it. And I dropped the keys on the other side of the fence gate, and it was lucky it was summertime, and I just managed to get a stick and managed to fish them back. But nighttime in the damp, scrabbling around on the floor with a stick, I don't like the sound of that. Do you? Let's hope that I manage okay. I'll hope. You don't have to worry about it. You'll be fine. Let's see who else is here. Let's see who else is here. Let's see. A little dry and blessed at the moment then. Bless them, says Cars with JC, also known as Joel. Yeah, they're little trees. I can't think of what they were meant to be. Yeah, but yeah, the trees that go on the tree. Excuse me. I'm in quite a bit of discomfort today. You see, I have had a really, really rather busy day. And I don't mean busy just making pretend clocks or stuff like that. I mean, I've actually done something useful. I haven't sold anything, but I have done something useful. Something good for the future. And, if I feel like it, I might even tell you what it was. Because there's not that many people who watch the live stream to spoil tomorrow's video. Is there? No, there's not. The guy from SETI Alpha 5 is here, also known as Barry. Hello, Barry. How are you all? How's everybody else? I have I see. I have a PM on the messenger. Right, okay, so that was you just pinging me then, Tony. Thank you very much. My first book now has a cover and is set for publishing. I got the cover design and it looks ace. That is good. I'd love to publish a book myself, actually. Yeah, I would. And I've got plenty of things I could put in a book. I wrote a book. I wrote a few, actually, about 15, nearly 20 years ago. I just got into writing short stories, strange kind of stories with weird things going on. And I've still got them knocking about. And one day I'll read through them, proofread them, correct all the spelling and grammar errors, and maybe I'll go punishing, not punishing. You don't punish your work, you publish it. Maybe, amongst all the other things I'll try and get around to doing, that might be one of them. Well done, Barry. Andrew Barnes is here. What's the plan for your caravan? He asks. Well, I shall tell you right now, because my original plan for the caravan was to get rid of it because it's space being used up, space that I need. But then kind of Boaty chipped in and said, no, we need the caravan. We need it as a sales office. We need it for lunch, etc. And Boaty isn't the boss, but sometimes what he does say makes more sense than what I say. So I thought, I suppose you're right, actually. And unless we end up in a situation where there isn't room anywhere for the caravan, then we'll be keeping it. But the plan is for it to go at the other end of the yard. And that, you never know, might even be happening next Monday. And in fact, it should, because Boaty will be down here. And it's Boaty's responsibility as much as mine. And together, we can move a caravan. It's not just a caravan. We've got the car to move it, but there are other cars. There's just one car that's actually a problem, and that's the SD1, which is right down in the corner, which is where the caravan needs to go. So, of course, we need two people to successfully pull the thing out and put it back, but in front of the caravan. There's no point in coming up here, is there? May as well be. It's going to be tricky. It's going to be really tricky because the space to manoeuvre the caravan isn't really very much. So I've got plenty of stuff to be doing that's going to be hard work. But don't worry, it will be me doing the thread the shed work, whilst Boaty does something more suited to him. You can decide what you think that might be. Okay. What a lovely cup of tea I have in my moustache. Now, where are my viewers? I've only got 21 people here. That's most disappointing. I ended up wanting to do a TikTok instead. Except nobody knows me there. Nobody. Right, okay, that's that question answered successfully. And Bad Books is here. Dear Mustard Diesel, thank you. What's Mustard's favourite aircraft? Asks Impy. Impy 5011. Impy 5011. I don't know, Concorde, you know, some sort of amazingly fast jet. Whatever. I've never really thought about it too much. When I lived in the south, I lived in Farnborough, and the air show that happened every 2 years was could be viewed from the field next to the house I lived in. It was fantastic. It was incredibly noisy. It was brilliant. But I don't anymore, and so you can't hear it from here because it's like 200 miles away, and it's you know, even planes of that volume can't be heard from this distance. Dan Peters, my car is in the Christmas spirit with its fuel lighter. Oh dear. Does that mean you can't afford any fuel, or you're just trying to make the car look Christmassy by making sure it hasn't got any? Name me -1 is here. I have a nice surprise for you. To have a nice surprise for you to drive, maybe Tuesday. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, well, I look forward to that. I mean, everybody should know that my favourite thing is doing, you know, car reviews. Yes, everything. In fact, my own cars I'm going to do car reviews of. Specifically, actually, the 420. The 420 GSI Tourer, because although I've done plenty of videos on it, and I've had it for nearly a year, and done nearly 1,000 miles in it, and done lots of videos fixing it and stuff, I've not actually done a review, and that will quite possibly bring along some viewers that haven't spotted me just yet. A bit less likely though than driving a Nissan 350Z. So Pure Evil, good afternoon everyone. How are we all? And am I late? You can't be late for a live stream, can you? Unless you mean to be here at the time it starts. Steve Perry, I'm doing a live stream. What? Why? Oh, he doesn't know, does he? But I don't know whether that was particularly loud for you. So what I best do is just turn this down like that. Steve Perry's probably just shown me a picture of some beer that he's going to drink later on to try and make me jealous, and it works. Favourite aircraft would be either the Mosquito or the Vulcan Bomber. Yep, the Vulcan Bomber. Yep, that's my favourite. Hooked on Classics is here. Very good. Simone is here. Oh, that reminds me, actually, the live stream I did from the kitchen on Saturday. Was it Saturday or Friday? I think it was Saturday, wasn't it? Got cut short because of internet type things, and it was a real pity because there was quite a lot of people there. And what happened was the missus, who was out, sent me a WhatsApp, and she didn't know I was doing a live stream, and then she sent me another one. And I thought, she's going to be thinking I'm ignoring her, so I best just answer it. And of course, that just ended the live stream. And I didn't realise that would happen. And so I went back to it, and it obviously just didn't come back on. So there I was, in the kitchen still, talking about the fish, talking about how there's nobody watching and stuff, for about 15 minutes. Quite weird, eh? I don't know if it's weird or not, but it's certainly ever so slightly disappointing. And Cars with JC says, I'm looking forward to the review of the 420 GSI. So you agree with me then, I guess, that it should have an actual review video as well. That's what I think. That's why when I picked up the ZS 180, before I did anything, I thought I'll do a review of it quickly, straight away, before anybody even knows that we've bought it. Do my hands look dirty? Actually, they don't look too bad on there, do they? Pure evil. I tend to be good at turning up just as live streams are ending. Well, that can't be up sometimes. I mean, it's a bit of an odd time of day to do this. As I said, the only reason really for doing a live stream now at this time was because otherwise I'd just be stuck in traffic. And by leaving it half an hour, or maybe a bit more than half an hour, maybe I could just drive home and not have to sit and stand still. Oh, and there's a point. I thought I'd turn it down. Something else to turn down then, isn't there? No, come on. Come on. Oh, gosh. Some notifications and stuff. Maybe the cause of the ending. Cause of them ending. Maybe the cause of them ending, lol. I don't know what you mean. I'm just going to say, you know, if I don't know what somebody means, I'm just going to, I don't know what you mean. But yeah, no, actually, oh, right, I get you. Okay. Yeah, so, name me -1 is accusing pure evil of live streams coming to an end by just being here because it's pure evil. How awful. What a terrible thing to say. Right, anyway, so as I've actually said hello to everyone, because there's not as many here as what there would be in the evening, I shall finish off my cup of tea and tell you something interesting that's happened today. Maybe I'll tell you something interesting that happened yesterday as well, but tonight there will be a video on that many people will choose not to watch because it's a car that they're not interested in. But it's a very funny car, so I suggest you do. Yeah, right, hang on, let me just drink this cup of tea, talk amongst yourselves. Oh, and press that like while you're at it. Come on, chaps and chapesses. Press that like, comment, do all that kind of stuff. It all really adds up and makes a difference, doesn't it, eh? You know it does. Good, I've finished that. And thank you for 2 people who liked it. Oh, Joe, you've only just liked this live stream. You've been here right from the start. It's funny though, isn't it? Because sometimes you're just watching it and you don't even think, because you have to scroll off the comments and then go to like. It's not like there without doing that, is it? Oh, and thank you, name me. Oh gosh, I don't know what that is. Just found that on the seat next to it. It looks a bit like a horse's head, doesn't it? But it's not. I think it's I can't tell, it's bread. Probably time I had a bit of a clean up in here. So, oh, Greg Anderson's here. Oh, hello, Greg Anderson. Just in time to hear the fabulous news, which I will get around to telling you in just a moment. Click the like, says Tony. I already done that at the beginning. Good chap. Yes, you know what it's all about, don't you? K-Series tech question. Do you find the alloy throttle bodies spindles have vacuum leaks? I haven't done. No, I've never found that so far. I find all sorts of problems with them, but never that. Not so far. I probably will do later on my way home. So, right, okay. You notice the thumbnail of this picture? That is the thumbnail of this live stream. That's a clue to what's happened here today. Yes, you've probably guessed it, unless you haven't. But Amy the 216. Oh, wish me luck. Simone's wish me luck for Tuesday, MOT day. Okay, you're probably best off. Usually the. Right. Okay. Right. Yeah, probably, as long as your car's in good order, you should be okay, shouldn't you? Yeah, just make sure it's all good. I mean, when I went and took Nigel for its MOT, there was one thing I wasn't expecting. That was the bottom ball joint being a bit loose because I couldn't feel it. I could just hear a bit of rattle, but I think that's actually an not anti-roll bar, the drop link just starting to go, because you can only hear it when you go really, really slowly. Idle air control, says name me. Anyway, let's get back to what I was talking about. Otherwise, everyone will disappear because they'll just think that, this is just a bit of clickbait and that I'm just trying to reel you in by telling you some exciting news that hasn't even really happened. But it has. Yeah, it really has. Good luck, mine too, tomorrow morning. Yes. Yeah. It's not luck though, is it? It's about the car being right in the first place. Luck may be down to the MOT tester, because you could end up with one that's, just having a really bad day, or just doesn't like you, or does like you. You just don't know. Dave Smith, excuse me, I'm just going to have to run away and cough my head off. I'm glad I'm not wearing a microphone today. What a horrible sound. Gosh, that was horrible. Now, a very long time ago, it must be 18 months ago, I took a very, very long drive out to go and collect a car called Amy. It's a blue 216 with a snapped cam belt. And of course, a snapped cam belt means a knackered engine, even on the Honda, because it's not the twin cam. The twin cams apparently have a safe engine, but the single cams don't. So there's no point really doing much with it. However, unlike what I used to do, I just didn't really get on and do anything with it. It just gradually had bits taken off, some sections taken out. That would have been a really good thing actually for another car for the future, would be to just cut out sections that of for other cars of the future where they're likely to be going wrong. And poor old Eric, that looks a bit like that's what will be happening to him in its way of actually saving other cars of the future to have those really vulnerable sections taken out and kept aside. So it's been sat there for such a long time. I was taking out the engine and gearbox, but then I decided I didn't really want to bother, and so it's been sat with on bricks until the other day when I put the wheels back on and re-bolted up the suspension mount, the top mount, and then I advertised it, and someone came along and took it today. It was fun, and it wasn't fun. It wasn't horrible either, but you'd be amazed how much difference having one car can make to the space of the rest of the place. Because anyone that's been following my channel much will know that my plan has been to free up the lower lockup to put a car in. Yep, or to put two cars in. At one point I thought he could even possibly put three in, but I think that would be impossible unless of course there were tiny cars. But I'm not going to tell you any more. All I'm going to tell you is that basically the Amy has gone, which is brilliant, because it's meant that I've spent not quite a bit, all day. I've spent all day being productive in the yard, and that's why when Tony said about doing some tip run stuff for me, now definitely is the time, because the path is clear. The path is clear, and it's much better for it. But there's an awful lot of debris left over, and it would be very, very nice to have this yard actually looking quite respectable at some point. Although I've got Eric there, which is coming apart. I've not even advertised it for parts. I'm going to do, and then I'm going to phone this chap up again. Oh, not phone, just message him when I'm ready, and he can just take the rest of it. So the engine and gearbox has to come out. Pure evil wants something off of it, and various other people will do as well. So there we go. you know, I got you all excited for that. And just as I was telling you, I was thinking, nobody's interested. You know, watch the numbers go down when I try and get them all geared up about something like this. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. No, I need to tell you the other exciting news. Now that is exciting. Let's see who else is here then. If anybody else is here, I mean, it'd be awful to. Bring a tester cheesy. £10. There's cheeseburger here. I don't remember cheeseburger coming. When the cheeseburger turned up, he's not there. Bung the tester. Ah, right, I see. Sorry. I thought you said bring the tester. That's not the way to do it, is it? I'm not saying that I don't know if anybody does that kind of thing, but I don't actually know any. Well, I do, but not here. There are a couple of MLT stations near the town that might do that kind of thing. But obviously they're risking their license, aren't they? I've seen that effect. I seem to have that effect on people. What's that? Right, okay. Oh, maybe people don't like you. Do people not like you, Dave? I'm sure they do. At least Amy will live on and save other cars. Well, no, that's the point. The point is that Amy stopped trying to live on, and basically given in to the death that it actually has, because it was never going to go anywhere, was it? It was difficult to pull out. The wheels were locked on. The front wheels don't steer. That's a stir. No, not from Liverpool. Not from Liverpool. They don't stir. I don't think actually they pronounce the word steer like that anyway. So yeah, the parts that have been off of the car, yeah, they've helped to save other R8s, but it's not quite as many as I would have normally wanted to do. I mean, there's none of the engine bits. I did take out the expansion bottle, but somebody at some point in the yard has taken the cap away. Some magpies here, you know. I've got quite a list of bits of Eric I'm hoping for. Well, good. All right, that makes it even more worthwhile, doesn't it? Guys on a trike, nearly missed this one. Well, you haven't, have you? And oh gosh, a message held for review. Sorry I'm late, says Dave Marshall. You don't have to be apologetic for. Ah, right. Another moderator handled this. Right. So, what's the problem with me talking, Skick? Yeah? What? Most of the time, we do a live stream, and it's not even about news. It's about comments being replied to. And Skick, you like your comments being replied to. So, have I actually told you the news, or have I not told you the news, or do you want some more? This is a refreshing, not Bolty's fifth. Not Bolty's fifth. Oh, I tell you, I'm really struggling with my back here. That's lugging stuff around. I've done a lot of lugging stuff around today, and it makes for a very, very uncomfortable back. So you'll have to just excuse my my pained expressions, because I've got a few of them on the go. Right, I can't remember what other. Did I have some other news to tell you? Dave Smith, you were reading out my name, then had a coughing fit. Right, I see. That's terrible, isn't it? I've coughing fit because I've still got the remnants of this super cold thing that's been going on. What a strange rustic charm. What a strange cold this has been. No, normally a cold's over within a few days, but this one, no, it's like more like a flu. If it was man flu, it probably wouldn't be any worse. Has anybody can women get man flu? There's a question. Can they? Okay, lots of strange noises going on out there again. Quite distracting. You know, as I've said, I'm a bit concerned I'm going to get locked in. I think the wall needs a lick of paint. Oh no, Simone. No, I've got time for that. I'll tell you what. I haven't got time for half of the jobs I've got to do. How often do I sit here doing live streams? Not very often, even though they're what many people want. But I just haven't got time. I've spent all day doing something that looks like it's almost nothing. But no, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that, because actually, as far as I'm concerned, today was quite an achievement. And when the video does come out tomorrow, you will be, I think, quite impressed. I certainly am. I'm not afraid to admit it. So yeah, I haven't got time for this. And that actually doesn't matter. This does not matter. There are things around the yard and in my life that do matter that I'm not getting around to doing. That doesn't matter. So let's not. In fact, Simone, this is a gift for you. Got to do that sort of fit in an envelope. Oh gosh, I wish I hadn't done that one. I could peel the rest of this off, couldn't I? Would that look better? God. There it is. Let's chuck that outside. Oh, what a mess. What a mess that's made. Rustic charm, that's what you meant, right. Right, I think Boaty's been licking the paints. I rather like the rustic charm, says Barry. It reminds me of the dojo. The dojo where I learned Kung Fu. It was simple and basic. Jojos are now too slick. You got me lost there. Could be worse. He could be licking the windows. He does have that. He just have that look about him. He might do that, doesn't he? So, is there anything you want to include? Is there anything? Does anybody want me to talk about anything specific here today, or should I just rattle on with my own completely aimless agenda like I've been doing so far? Now, I did say I've got some news, but I can't remember what it was, because there's always some news going on. There's always a whole load of different bits of news going on. Some of it's relevant, some of it you might be interested. I suppose I could tell you about the new car. Yep, because that will be Snowberry. Snowberry wallpaper it ain't. That's Boaty's old job before running the Ripley fish and chips. He loves that joke. He loves that joke. We should all do more fish and chip jokes for his benefit, because it'll just amuse him no end. I did actually speak to him today, come to think of it, because of the thing that I've been doing today. I wanted to tell someone about it, and of course it is very, very relevant to him. But he was properly struggling with the amount that he's got to do. Now, he posts more videos than I do. I just make sure I post fewer videos that are better. But he likes to put loads of them up, doesn't he? With his daily diaries and all these other kind of things. So he gets up and he just basically spends his whole day working through these things, and then goes to work and has loads of responsibility there, and then comes home and does live streams. So if I was wearing a hat right now, I'd take my hat off to our friend Boaty for the amount of effort he puts in to the old community thing, because he's very good. He's a good chap when he's not licking windows. let's hope he won't be licking windows next Monday when we're trying to move the caravan. Because actually, the thing is, moving the caravan down the back of there was kind of his idea. Although it was a good idea and everybody agrees that's what we should do, I'm not going to let him get away with not helping. He's going to be here doing his bit. Okay. Snubs breathe. Snubs. Well. Right. Okay. I'm going to tell you about the car that I acquired yesterday. Now, many years ago, before I got stuck just on Rover, I would buy anything provided it was cheap enough. And for a while, it looked like my future was going to be in Renault Magans, because I seemed to buy quite a few of them. And then when I had one that was knackered, I just took it apart. And I had these people come from Bulgaria to the yard because I had something for sale. And they were going to Bulgaria with a Renault Magan with another Renault, with practically another Renault Magan inside it. They absolutely crammed it full of bits. And there were 3 people in the car as well. And the amount of stuff they bought, I thought they can't possibly get all that in there, but they managed it. And we were talking about panels as well, not doors and bonnets, but wings, bumpers, window regulators. Anyway, so for a while, those ugly Renault Megans, the ones with the fat arse things. Oh gosh, here we go. Another one. Diary of a Fat Man. What's Diary of a Fat Man, Dave Smith? Me? Are you calling me fat? Eh? Are you calling me fat? Do you really reckon I'm fat? I feel like I'm fat today, but many people are fatter, and it wouldn't be fair on them to call me fat, would it? We're taking away the fat man's thunder. Where was I? Renault Magan, the ugliest, not the ugliest car, but certainly it looked, they look okay from the front, they look dreadful from the back. I don't know anyone that actually likes the back of the Renault Magan. Anyway, so one of these cars I bought this silver Magan automatic that had a fault with it, and for some reason the fault went away when I bought it. I had a gearbox fault, and somebody said to me, just try disconnecting the battery and it'll reset it. And you know what? It did. And I thought, what utter bollocks. Things don't just reset themselves like that, but sometimes they do. And the thing worked perfectly well afterwards. I drove it around myself for about 3 weeks without any problems at all. And I discovered what a dreadfully tedious car the Renault Magan automatic actually is. It's awful. You know, I mean, really awful. But I sold the car, and I made a profit on it. So there we go. But the lady I bought that car off, I've seemed to be maybe a long-winded story here, isn't it? Bolty's diary. Right. The lady I bought that car off, which was about 5 years ago, messaged me the other day and said, hello. So I said hello back, and then she said, do you want to buy a car? And apparently she's just been concerned about selling a car to anyone, but because she sold a car to me before and it wasn't a horrible experience, she thought the best thing to do would be to sell this one as well. And it is. The car that, if anybody saw my Facebook post last night, I put 2 pictures of it because it's not the kind of thing I would buy for myself at all, but I found myself quite liking it. It's a Daewoo, a Daewoo Amico. Quite a few people managed to guess it correctly. Lots of you thought it was a Volkswagen of some sort from the back lights, which is understandable because it does look Volkswagen-y in the back lights. So Why have I bought a car like this? Well, I've just explained it. Because somebody will buy it. It's a tiny little car that's an automatic. Somebody will buy it. And my own, what's she called? Baroness Mustard probably would buy it, actually. I bet she'd like it. Yeah, I bet she'd like it. Because it's just really unprecious. And, no, that's not why. But she could buy it. It wouldn't matter about it. Hyundai Mika, Senior Mustard. Oh gosh, Senior Mustard's here. What are you doing here? Hyundai. What did I say it was something else? I might have done actually. I saw you go by actually, just before. I just walked around there, and there you was driving up the road. That's before I had to go and have a chippy dinner, because I said, "Dare you?" Did I? I don't know what I'm talking about. What do you expect? Good to talk some cack, aren't I? I might as well freely admit I'm just talking cack. Shit. Proton. No, did I say proton? No, I didn't. I thought I said it. Hyundai. Oh yeah. Anyway, so let's get back to the point. I seem to be ever so slightly distracted by my own cough and these occasional comments. It's horrible. It's the most hideously gopping looking car ever, but there's something quite likeable about it. And you can't say that about everything, can you? I mean, I've driven enough cars where everything's just right, but you don't like it. So this little ugly car has something that the Audi A3 doesn't. That would be a Daewoo. Amiga. Yeah. I hate being forced to have a chippy dinner. You hate being... Nobody's forced to have them. Well, no, I wasn't forced, but I really did need something. Can you hear my voice is starting to go now? And that's what's been happening quite a lot whilst here. It's okay. And then as soon as I finish work, it starts to go away. I don't know why. Maybe just something to do with talking too much. Could be that. And I will just wind this up in a minute because I'm struggling to actually get my words out now. Cartober. What do you think the biggest problems with buying an old boxy Volvo at present? I'd love a chippy dinner. I don't know. Probably the biggest problem with buying a big boxy Volvo is being able to afford one, because they're just not cheap at all, are they? And no Volvos are cheap, but they've become really silly in prices more recently. I know, because I know quite a few people who like them and would like to have one, but they can't because they're too expensive. Less swearing all of a sudden. Less swearing. I don't really do a great deal of swearing, Dave, unless you're talking about stick. Lack of tea affecting your voice box, says Name Me. Well, I've had one cup of tea just then. Oh, but then again, I've not had a great deal all day because I have been kind of, just doing stuff all day. And every time I've made one, it's ended up going cold. There you go. I think I think you can tell it's just about to disappear altogether, and I may as well go whilst I still can. Look. Oh. Bollocks! You never know. I'll go up there. Maybe I've not even been locked in just yet. That'd be quite handy. But it is probably time to go anyway. So thank you very much for joining me on this pointless and impromptu live stream. I shall see you in the next one. Let's just see what else. Anybody else? Gaz on a trike. When I worked in that there Bradford, my dear old gaffer used to call Hyundai high undies. I have to go now, Mustard. I'll catch up with you later. Thank you. And Dave Marshall, you should have plenty of tea bags. I do. I do actually have plenty of tea bags. I've got more tea bags than you realise, because quite a few of my guests recently have brought tea bags as well. Another hidden comment. Let's see that before I go. Potentially inappropriate messages are held for review. Well, I know I've got it, but I don't get this. Hooked on Classics, TTFN, and that's potentially inappropriate. Gosh, what's going on? Right. Join me later on when I post a video of pure excitement. Bye bye. Thanks for watching.